Oh man, is now a better time to hold Fantom versus Bitcoin? This is one of the most common questions I'm getting right now, and there's no wonder why you're seeing Bitcoin here tumble 4.5% here on the week. Many altcoins struggling, Ethereum, Solana not managing to post green weeks, and yet Fantom here has posted 2% day to day and a week which is in the green. More importantly, take a look at the Fantom versus Bitcoin pairing here. Over the last week, Fantom has outperformed Bitcoin by 6.5%. Does this now mean that I'm personally going to be rotating my Bitcoin into Fantom? Is that something I'll be looking to do? I'm going to break that down in this video and a lot more. If you appreciate this type of updates, if you want to buy any Fantom or Bitcoin, check out the links in the description to Bybit, to Mexi, two of the platforms which support this channel, but also offer you some amazing bonuses, some low trading fees, and a great user interface to trade with. So check those out. They're the ones I personally use. Links in description. So this is the question we need to ask ourselves now. Are we heading for a bit of an altcoin season, and are there certain coins like Fantom where it'll be more beneficial to hold them over the next kind of couple of months than Bitcoin? Now, first and foremost, before me getting into the TA, we need to understand a bit more of an important macro point in terms of what is your trading and investing style. If you've been following my content for a while, you'll know I'm not a big proponent of rotating. I don't try to time the market. Very, very important concept. You've probably heard of the saying, right? It's about spending time in the market versus trying to time the market, right? You don't want to time the market. That's where you're going to get wrecked. So one of the common let's call it a mistake, or one of the tactics kind of new crypto investors try to do is they want to catch all the green. They think this is like Pokemon where they got to catch them all, right? They got to get everything. Any token pumping, I need to be getting that percent, right? Why did Fantom pump this many percent this week and I didn't capture it, right? And a more sophisticated, experienced investing trader just goes, I'm not going to catch all of them. By no means am I going to catch all of them. I can't even catch the ultimate bottom and the ultimate high. I just need to be capturing green more so than I do red, and overall I'm going to do just fine if I keep repeating that and I'm patient over time. Okay, so when we take a look at this, we can see here Fantom has done relatively well against Bitcoin this week. Great. And you can take a look at Ethereum. You can see Ethereum here down 6.6%, a painful week. Take a look at Solana in the red as well. Not as much, but it's in the red. I mean, we can keep going down the list. Let's take a look at something like Avalanche down here in the red as well, a 10% week to the downside. So it's pretty impressive when all these certain altcoins, which I'm showing you here, have fallen more than Bitcoin, that there are certain altcoins which are still managing to outperform Bitcoin, where Bitcoin's having a red week by 4% and Fantom's having a green week by a couple of percent. That's a 6% differential. And so my answer to the question, which was asked at the beginning of this video by many of you guys in the comments, in Telegram, on Twitter as well, is would I sell my Bitcoin for Fantom right now? And the answer is no. That doesn't mean I wouldn't be looking to add more Fantom, but it's not at the expense of my Bitcoin. I don't like rotating. Exactly when you try to rotate away from a crypto, that's exactly where that crypto does really well. And I want to highlight this one very important chart here. And this is, of course, the Bitcoin dominance chart. If ever you want to look at the battle between, who's stronger, Bitcoin or altcoins, you take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, right? This is going to tell you which one's stronger. And if this chart's going to the upside, Bitcoin is performing better relatively to altcoins. It's important to understand that it's relative, not in absolute terms. And what pattern are we forming, which we've been monitoring here for a while? On the weekly chart, ever since this point, which is the 23rd of October last year, we have been in a consolidation on Bitcoin dominance. The last significant move on Bitcoin dominance started in August and ran all the way up to October of 2023. And the question now, which is the bit you're going to want to play, is this chart pattern falling to the downside, breaking down to a price target back of 50% on dominance? Or is this pattern going to want to play out, in which terms you want to start seeing what is the upward price target? And again, if we take that measured move and apply it, you start working your way up here into this 59 region, right? Where I've got this horizontal resistance line drawn at 59%. And so this is the pattern you're going to want to play. If you think Bitcoin's going to get stronger, we're going to see a move up into this direction. If you think this breaks down, then of course altcoins relatively to Bitcoin are going to do better. Hold up, do you want to learn how to trade? Then you need to jump into our Telegram community. Link is in the description. In our Telegram community, I share my altcoins. I share how I do my trade setups, how I do my stop losses and take profit, so you could learn to become a profitable trader. Check it out, link is in the description. Now, the way I like to play this is I like to just make sure I'm locked and loaded in the positions I like. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, I'm upset, this went to the upside, and all I hold is altcoins, and now Bitcoin's doing really well. I'd be annoyed if I didn't have enough Bitcoin in my portfolio. That is why I constantly say in these videos, eat your veg. Trust me, guys, when I say eat your veg, I mean Bitcoin and Ethereum. When Bitcoin goes on crazy runs and you've just got a bunch of low caps, you're gonna hate it. You're going to be like, hang on, everybody online is like celebrating as if they've made loads of money, and I'm sitting here in the red. Yeah, because you bought a bunch of crap coins, right? And crap coins, when they run, you do amazing. But when Bitcoin's running up in dominance, if Bitcoin goes up on another leg on dominance up to 59, or even if it wants to go into the 60s, guys, which, by the way, something I think can still happen in this cycle. If we look at previous cycle, it ran up to 73 before eventually, you know, that was the peak it hit, and then it came crashing back down after altcoin season. But you know, even if we don't hit 73, I mean 60, 63, 64, at least coming up to some of these levels, right? For me, it's very, very possible that we get another leg on Bitcoin. Even if it's less than we expect, it's very possible that we break to the upside here and get another leg. And so if that's going to happen, and there's a big probability that that happens, which I can't rule out, it would be very, very short-sighted of me to just have a whole portfolio of Fantom and not have any Bitcoin, right? So it's very important that I eat my veg. Equally, when the altcoin season comes, as you guys can see on the chart, when it comes really powerfully, and it's really, really fun, and altcoins are doing really, really well relative to Bitcoin. So of course, in those periods of times, if this was to break down to the downside, I want to be in altcoins, which is why it's very straightforward to understand that my theory here is, look, keep the coins I want throughout this process. And you're going to be tempted to sell, especially when you have weeks like this where you're like, oh, look, Fantom is up 6% versus Bitcoin. What's going on, right? Why don't I have enough? Why didn't I, Bitcoin didn't do anything this week. It was in the red. Why didn't I just sell and rotate into Fantom? And this time next week, I could have another 7% up. Or no, guys, that's what's going to get you wrecked, because what you're not thinking about is at what point will you then smartly sell your Fantom back for Bitcoin again, right? And it's too much of a confusing game. And if you're a newbie in crypto, or even if you're not a newbie, you're just somebody that isn't a professional, that isn't spending every single day in front of the charts where, you're doing it in a sophisticated manner, then you're just asking for trouble, trying to jump out the market to jump back in the market. Then you'll be like, okay, look, I call that Fantom move, and then you miss a Bitcoin move, and it just doesn't work. If you've got conviction in Bitcoin, treat it as its own kid, hold Bitcoin, DCA Bitcoin. If you love Fantom, like I do, I treat Fantom on its own and I look to DCA. Okay, so that brings us on to the question of when am I going to be DCAing some more Fantom? Look at where we're at now, guys. What have I always said? I love buying from positions of strength. Are we in a position of strength? Yes. These purchases in the EMA ribbon for me, on a long-term basis, are nice purchases for me. Look at this. A couple of weeks ago, guys, Fantom hit a high here of $1.22. Right? On the Sonic launch, on all the exciting things going on, $1.22, people were loving it and they were willing to buy it. And they were still buying at $1.22. And what did I say at the time? I said, guys, I like Fantom, but just wait for pullback. Why are you buying on peak news? Why are you buying on the peak excitement? Just chill out. Let it come down, buy from positions of support. And that's the same theory I use for everything. For Bitcoin, for any altcoins I like, I want to buy from positions of strength. And so, yes, you can get even better price points if you catch some of these wicks, but let's say you didn't. Even if you're buying here in this region, overall, much better buys than buying up here, right? So if you get in a habit of buying in these moments versus these moments, you're going to do really, really well. Take a look at Fear and Greed Index. We're still in greed. This market isn't crazy scared right now, but it's at 56. It's not in the 65s or in the 70s or in the 80s. So it's nicer to be buying now than it is to be buying in the 70s and 80s on Fear and Greed, where the market is heating up with a lot of FOMO. Look at this. Last month, extreme greed, 79. Now, just generally as a rule of thumb, much better purchases now you're getting, much better value for money you're getting than buying now. Right? Simple. You don't want to be buying, winter jackets in the peak winter when it's freezing cold. Everybody's going and buying winter jackets. Buy it in the summer when it goes on sale, right? Use that kind of methodology with your cryptos when people are fearful, when no one is talking about that altcoin which you're excited about. Maybe they're working on something exciting in the background before the next announcement. That's where you want to be making those buys. That's where you want to be making those purchases. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you like this type of content with updates on altcoins, on Bitcoin, on macroeconomics, guys, we've got a big macro week as well with CPI. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be a really important piece of information that we will be covering it here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed, but not just subscribe, guys. I need you to press that bell notification. YouTube is not pushing this video out to a lot of you guys who are even subscribed. So make sure you go to the bell notifications, select all, and that way when I do post, you have the option of seeing it on your feed. And then if you want to click it, then please click it and get a whole bunch of crypto alpha. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget as well to check out the Telegram group where you're missing a load of alpha if you're not in there, right? In between the videos, where do you think I'm posting all the extra alpha, all the extra TA, all the extra chart patterns? It's all going in the Telegram group, ijazcrypto.com/TG. It's the very first link in the description. Have a great Sunday, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.